ladies and gentlemen. Can everybody hear me? Hope you enjoyed your meal. So, just about to kick off with the speeches here. First off, we have Dave's mom and dad. They're going to say a few speeches, followed by a few others. So, just like to welcome Pontus up.
Well, much you could be. We're working now. Now, I'm Pritchas O'Leary, I'm David's daddy. That's the funny name that Aidan said when he was doing the ceremony. I speak Irish as my first language, so Tadini Ella sa chamra wala gaelic aku. That right, Tiernan? David Wayne, David Douglas Mayan is Banatee. So, normally people bore you to death, don't have our speeches. I'll not be boring you, I've got 3 sentences. The first sentence goes in Irish, old proverb. Ban honna, sail summer. Happy wife, happy life. The Irish were always very sensible, you know. So if you think about that now, that's a philosophy. Plato wouldn't have come up with that. A man says I didn't have a plate, but anyway, Plato, it was for his own benefit that he wouldn't come up with that, because in Ireland they came up with it. The Druids were very special people and said, when this happens to you and you get married, this is the second part of the speech, this is the second sentence, you have to remember that it's great the first day. See the rest of it, son. You have to work at it. Now, as someone who has worked at it, I've been here for 46 years with my wife. She made me work at it. So, that's where the first one comes back in again. Ben honna sail summer. Happy wife, happy life. So, at that stage of the game, I'm sitting down. Because Banatee, that's the Irish for the woman of the house. When in Ireland, when you live at home, you call the mammy Banatee. That means like the High Court judge. She rules all. So we now pass over to Banatee.
Fáilte roimh lig agus fáilte special de Aoife, or Riv Aoife, go Maleshko. Welcome everybody, and a very special welcome to Aoife into our family. We couldn't wish for a better daughter-in-law or a more loving wife for our son. She makes David complete, and that gives us great joy. We are so proud of our son and the man that he has become. On this very date in 1991, we met David for the very first time. He was lively, happy, curious, loving, and a bundle of energy, always exploring, and he still is all these things. Growing up, we admired his determination to work hard and complete every task, never giving up, always pushing himself to the limits. Remember the Explorer Bell demo? It is a testimony to his loyalty that his friends from childhood are still his friends, many of whom are here today. And of course Connor, his best man, a friendship made even before he started school, reinforced in Scouts and surviving a 2.5-year adventure to the other side of the world and back. And guess who he met at the other side of the world? Again. These are the qualities that he brings to this marriage and which will sustain their union. I am confident he will respect and look after Aoife and that their marriage will be a loving one. Aoife completes him and makes him happy. What more could a parent ask for? Congratulations. Congratulations.
and a rosemary. Up next we have the groom himself, Dave Lavery.
Hello everyone, and as we've said many times, and we'll say throughout the night, and we'll say for the next couple of days, we just really want to firstly and foremost thank you and welcome to today. Thank you all for coming, and from the bottom of our hearts, thank you for celebrating with us. I know it's been a long trip for a lot of people, but you've all made such a wonderful effort, and that means the world to me and to us on the most special day of our lives, and we cannot thank you enough. So my first thanks goes to everyone who came here today, because honestly, you've been wonderful, you've been amazing, and I thank you all from the bottom of my heart. I'm getting very sweaty right now, and this just happens all the time, but Mum, you might want to get out of the splash zone a little bit, because, like, as most of you know, and it's been mentioned by Aidan and by a few people before, that I'm a primary school teacher, so, like, doing public speaking, I should find this a lot easier, but when you're standing in front of 105 of your closest friends and families, like, it's just so different than just lying to a bunch of gullible 9-year-olds. So unfortunately you guys are going to be very understanding, and you're going to understand every word that I say, and I'm sorry in advance. Although in saying that, there is one gullible person in the room right now, and that gullible person is sitting right next to me. Because I got her to marry me. Yeah! And I'm done, I'm joking now. As I said, like, when I look around the room, I just see a collection of incredible people who have, in their own way, played a massive role or influenced us, like myself and my wife. Do you know what? That I've said it a few times really quietly, like throughout the day. That's the first time I've said it out loud. And I'm still a bit freaked out by it, but it's going to be okay. I wish I could thank you all individually, and I will try my best to get around the room today. But to be honest, we would be here for weeks, and we'd miss out on one hell of a party, and we don't want to do that. So for now, I'm just going to have my first cheers. I just want to thank you all. I'm going to raise a glass to everyone who's here. And I'm going to try and keep this speech reasonably short, because there are far more important people to talk after me. But to everyone who turned up, I love you all to bits. Cheers. Cheers. So, as I said, I'm going to try and keep these speeches, or not these speeches, I'm doing one, not multiple ones. I'm going to try and keep this speech reasonably short. So I'm just going to do some honourable mentions about people who have made a big impact on today. And then I'm going to thank all the people. And then obviously, I suppose I'm going to have to talk about Aoife at some point. So my first honourable mention goes to everyone who helped out with the service today, including the staff, including all the photographers, the videographers. You've all been incredible. The guys who made the food, outstanding. Like, and also for the people who just took it upon themselves to help us to organise this, as in like our family, our friends, and the people who contributed in the ceremony today. So my first sort of honourable mention will go to Christine. Where is Christine? Right. Christine, you spoke so beautifully, so eloquently, that you almost brought a tear to my eye, and if everyone saw me at the front of that I'd saw me at the front of that stage today, all right, you calm down, you're going next. I was almost in tears the whole time, but your words were so beautiful, and I thank you so much for the effort that you put in, and thank you for coming up and doing that for us. So that's the first honourable thing. I feel like I need to go a bit rogue with the next part, because I wrote this before I heard all the amazing, beautiful things that Aidan said about us today. And dude, you almost got me so many times. One thing I will say is I'm still really sad that you didn't wear the Moira Rose outfit from the Schitt's Creek wedding. Thought that would have been the cherry on top of the perfect cake. But in all honesty, I'm not even going to read from the page for this part. The words that you used to describe Aoife, to describe me, to describe everything you did, it blew my mind. You went above and beyond. You have been one of our closest confidants for years, and we couldn't have thought of anyone else better to do that. And after the performance that you did today, I don't think that I could ever not see you as one of the most important people in our lives. And from the bottom of our hearts, from every ounce of me, you have done us such a justice that I didn't even know you could have. So the honourable mention has to go to Aidan. So thank you very much. The next honourable mention goes to... Oh, Jesus, she's gone. So's he as well. Sorry. All right, we'll keep it lighthearted. I would also like to thank the most beautiful flower girl, Anna. With a very difficult and a very daunting job, she definitely did such a wonderful, amazing job. And to be honest, she showed me up a little bit, which I'm not quite happy about. I'm going to have some words about it. And she's been practicing at home, so I don't know how to say it, Anna, but you were fantastic. And you did your mummy and your daddy and your whole family so proud. And Auntie Aoife and I are so glad that you were here to help us on our special day. My last honourable mention goes, well, last but not least, and then I'll talk about my parents and the parents and everyone else, but my last honourable mention has to go to Conor Fitzpatrick. My best man, my true love.
You're mine too. You're there?
People always say that weddings can be extremely stressful, and I can 100% get that. But in all fairness, this man has really looked after me in the last couple of days, and he's kept the nerves at bay. Also, I thought I was going to talk after you, so I said, also thank you for not slating me in my best man speech. That might still happen. If you do, I'll come back with a second speech. So. And I want to thank him for helping me survive the stag party, and anyone who was there knows that that's a big ordeal. But Conor, you're my best friend, and we've been friends for over 30 years. I'm so grateful that out of all the things that we've done, all the things we've achieved, all the adventures that we have been on together over the years, that you're here with me today on my wedding day, and that you're more than just a friend to me, that you're my brother. So you get my honourable mention as well. Thanks, Dad. All right, next I would like to thank my parents, who have... You have to point to yourself as well. Like you're part of that group, you know.
My ballet daddy.
Speeches are cancelled. Anyway, we'll get back on track. Mum and Dad, from day one, you've always supported my dreams, and you taught me to be the man that I am today, like you said in your own speech. You taught me the importance of patience and trust, and showed me unconditional love no matter what path I chose. even when you didn't agree with it, and even when I did the stupidest things imaginable.
Didn't tell me about them till afterwards.
That is a fair point. I didn't tell you about them until afterwards, but that makes me a good son, all right? The relationship you have with one another is an inspiration to me, and I hope that Aoife and I will be as happy as you and Dad are for the rest of our lives. And I know you said you work at it, but that's the most important thing. And we love you to bits, and thank you so much for being here today. So next we get on to the car breaks. No, it's okay. Trish and Jerry, I feel incredibly lucky to be joining your family. You've always welcomed me with open arms and treated me as one of your own. I couldn't ask for two better in-laws, and can't wait to continue to learn and laugh and live with you in the kitchens when we have a drink or we have food or we just spend some time together. It honestly means the world to me. Cheers for that. So just like a background story, as traditional Irish people, as you can obviously tell by my dad, or if you didn't get that, you might get it now. It's very customary to go and ask the parents of your partner for their hand in marriage. So I went and told my mum and dad, and as they were very supportive. And then I went to go and to do the deed and ask Trish and Jerry for the blessing. So I'll never forget the day I went to ask you for your blessing and the kind words of advice that you gave me. Stole my joke, all right. Just to give you a bit of background, if you haven't had a chance to talk to Trish and Jerry, you definitely should. They're amazing. But instantly, Trish was eager to pop open all the champagne. But my nerves are so bad that I was trying to hold back about 4 layers of vomit or throw up or whatever because I was just so nervous. And the reason why, you always say you're never going to be nervous when you're going to ask you for the hand marriage, but let's be honest, if there's ever a moment your partner's parents are going to tell you how they really feel about you, it's probably right then. Anyway, I remember your mum running frantically to find glasses and find champagne. She was very excited. It was a bit crazy. And I was sitting there still a bunch of nerves. And I will never forget the immortal words of your dad. He just leaned into me and said, "Are you sure?" And he wasn't talking about Aoife, he was talking about the mum. And then at that point, I'd never been so sure in my entire life. Like I said on that night, I promised to love and care for your incredible daughter to the end of my days. And I hope that you know that I meant it, and I always will. So it looks like you're stuck with me eating bosoms on your sofa in my shorts, watching Harry Potter when I'm hungover. Forever. And the baseball cap, you can't forget that. But in all honesty, thank you for all your guidance, your support, for all your help in this wedding, for everything that you've done, and for your continuous guidance in life. So another raise of glasses for the parents, please. And now, to my beautiful bride, Aoife. My sweetheart, my darling, the love of my life. What is there to say? I don't know if many of you know this, or you all know it, I don't know why I'm saying that. But Aoife and I dated when we were in Rathmore and fell hopelessly in love during rehearsals for a school production of West Side Story. It was that old chestnut, the lead gorgeous actress, falls in love with the lead, lost the joke now. That old chestnut of lead actress falls in love with anonymous unnamed chorus singer 3. The Guardian gave it a 5 out of 5. Must see, but Mr. Swan and Mrs. McGivern would say otherwise. Naturally, over time, our paths split for almost 10 years until an obsessed Aoife Carberry followed me to New Zealand. I know we're all thinking it. We're thinking it as well. But like sometimes I just still can't believe to this day that I'm marrying. So I'm not marrying, I've married Aoife Carberry. Sorry, Mrs. Leffer. The thing is though, if you'd said to me during our alright G-Man, you chill. The thing is though, if you'd said to me during our time apart that this was going to happen, I wouldn't have believed for a second that you would ever come back to a bit of a gremlin like me. And second of all, I probably would have had some very choice words for that person, because even though we spent so much time apart, I never fell out of love with you. I always loved you with all my heart.
He did.
But fate or chance or whatever you want to call it brought us back together. And the second that I met you, again, I knew I would do anything to make you mine forever. Thanks, Dad. I feel so lucky that I got to meet my soulmate when I was so young, and I didn't and don't want to spend another second of my life without you by my side. You push me and challenge me in ways I could never have dreamt of, and for that I thank you from the bottom of my heart. You always see the best version of me, even when it can be difficult to find, and you love me, even when I'm a potato. This love of challenge and adventure has seen us travel the corners of the earth, and I promise to always ignite that passion and love within you, even if there are a few broken bones along the way. I love every one of your characteristics and traits, but what I love most about you is your sense of humour, your optimism and your love of life. I don't think there's been a day in the past 6 years we haven't laughed and shared a number of wonderful, albeit very silly moments. And I promise to uphold this and make you smile every day for the rest of our lives. I promise to keep you safe and happy and ensure that we have the best lives together. You are my friend, my family, you are my moon and my stars. And every day I get to wake up beside you makes me the luckiest man in the world. So, you all need to get up. I would like you to, hold on, finish it. I would like you to raise a glass. I don't care if you're single parked, double parked, or just going to town on the free table wine. Raise it all to my incredible wife, to my love, Aoife Lavery!
I invite the beautiful bride Aoife up to speak.
For God's sake, right? Thanks, Daddy. First of all, I just want to say my name is Mrs. Aoife Lavery. I'm a phenomenon in Irish culture. I'm what you would call an unlucky Irish. My flights get delayed, trains cancel, bags go missing. I've had bank fraud, torn ligaments, whiplash. I cut my finger off recently. Didn't tell you about that. Numerous broken bones. Of course I'd be the one to develop a disorder from the COVID vaccine. Of course I'd be bitten by the only poisonous insect in New Zealand. And of course I get food poisoning a week before my wedding. But today, I am the luckiest Irish in the world. because I'm surrounded by all the people I love, and I've married the love of my life. I met Dave when I was 17 years old, and as many people here bore witness, we fell into an all-consuming love. You may remember when you fell in love for the first time. It was very difficult to process it or explain it without sounding like an absolute obsessive stalker. This was a time when text language was rife to squeeze everything you need to say into one 10p text, and calls actually cost money. So not easy to express the obsessive stalker you'd become. So Dave and I started writing each other love letters. There are letters written at home, during classes. There's even one Dave wrote after a street got evacuated by the PSNI. There is love, encouragement, understanding, apologies. Our whole teenage love affair is contained in these letters.
And you kept them?
Well, Francis, if you would listen. Take them out. I could never throw them away, because even after we parted ways, they meant so much to me, because they were proof of a real love. During this romance, with love letters on my mind, I saw this necklace in Urban Outfitters. Some of you might remember it from Rathmore. It was a gold chain with a tiny envelope at the bottom, which opened up. And out came this tiny letter that said, "I love you" on it. Annoyed that Dave didn't have the foresight to buy me this, even though he neither knew it existed or that I wanted it. I bought it for myself, and I said to Dave in a really kind way, "Wouldn't it be such a nice gift if to give to someone you love?" 10 years later, the necklace was long gone, but Dave and I met again in New Zealand. And very soon, the words etched into those love letters began to resurface. Unfortunately, we had a few more obstacles to overcome as Dave's visa ran out, just as we were realising that maybe this was it. So we did long distance, which was incredibly trying. And to help, Dave came back to visit 7 months in. And when he arrived, he brought me a new letter. Dave hands me the necklace. He remembered. He contacted Urban Outfitters, who looked through their archives, was put through to a supplier in America, and they custom made me the love letter necklace from 10 years ago. Still to this day, I am in awe that you did that for me, that you remembered something that meant so much to me when I was 17, and the symbolism it held of showing me how much you loved me. This simple act of love was enough to make me know that I was supposed to be with you for the rest of my life. There's so much I wish I could say up here, but time is precious, and I want to spend it with each of you tonight. So here's my love letter to all of you this day. To you, our aunties, uncles and family friends, all of our earliest memories, because yous are at the back, all of our earliest memories and family events have included you. We are so grateful that many of you are here today, as this is a gathering of so many families coming together to make a new family. Thank you for being our other parents, our teachers and our friends. To you, our friends, how are we so fortunate to be a part of all of your lives. When our families couldn't be there, you've always been there for us. I hope you all know how much we love and appreciate you. Also, you're just the absolute best crack. My parents always tell me how lucky I am to have friends like all of you. And they're so right. I am #blessed. To you, my siblings. We are all so different, but we are also so the same. I hope you all know how incredibly happy you make me when I'm with you, because I feel like I'm made up of the four of you. I carry a part of you with me wherever I go, and those are the best parts of me. Thank you for always welcoming Dave into the Carby clan, and how lucky are we to have 5 amazing partners to put up with us. I couldn't ask for 4 better extra siblings. To you, Prentice and Rosemary, thank you for always welcoming me into your home, caring for me, and your kindness and generosity. I couldn't ask for a better family to become a part of, and I'm truly honoured to be in Lavery. And I meant to say something in Irish, but I got too freaked out when I said it. In case Prentice judged me. So pretend I did. To you, my parents, I'd be lost in this world without you both. You are the most incredible beings. You're not only amazing friends and parents to me, but to everyone in this room. And I think I can speak for everyone here when I say we all absolutely adore you. You are the greatest example of true love, and you extend your love to everyone that you meet. A special trait I hope we will carry through. I love you both so much. And finally, to you, Acushel McCree. Got some art in there. Even with these love letters, I may never find words beautiful enough to describe all you mean to me, but I will spend the rest of my life searching for them. I'm so in love with you, and I'm so honoured to be yours. A successful marriage requires falling in love many times, always with the same person. Dave, I think we've nailed this. So, a toast to love in all its forms, but especially to my love, Dave.
Thank you very much, Aoife. Up next we have Father Ryan Jerry.
Father God. Hello. How do you follow that?
Quite easily.
Can you hear me okay at the back? You're going to be very sorry. Patricia and I would like to thank you all for joining us today to celebrate Aoife and Dave's wedding here at Healy Barn. We really appreciate the trouble you've gone to be here. I know how much it means to Aoife and Dave and to us to be able to share this special day with family and friends. I would also like to remember those who cannot be here. Sorry. Especially my brother Edmund. I know he's with us in spirit. Sorry, I just had to get that part over. Some quick thank yous. Aidan, for one day only, the parish priest of Healy Barn. Thank you, Aidan, for officiating at the ceremony. And if I'd known how you're going to speak, I could have said so much more. It was so lovely and very meaningful of you. As you and Aoife go back a very long way together, I know how special your friendship is. And both of them couldn't have picked anyone better. As PP, Aidan, you must abstain from the demon drink and fornication. So I hope you have a great day. And I'm serious.
No rubs there, really.
I'm sure you've been enjoying the music. Thank you to the musicians we have heard, and we look forward to the music that we will hear later on. Thank you to Healy Flowers for the most beautiful displays, which I think you'll all agree were amazing. Yep. And to Healy Barn and staff, thank you for all your help and for the lovely meal we have just enjoyed. Now, I have to mention my grandchildren. Anna, the most beautiful flower girl in her pretty dress. Didn't she do very well? Ruin, for wearing his outfit in protest. That's a very hard job for any guy. And to BB Kate, just because she's a wee joy. And she obviously loves her granddad's speech because she's wearing headphones. It's been lovely getting to know Dave's parents, Rosemary and Francis. They should be, and I know they are, very proud of their son. Just one person agreed, and that was Dave. Oh, sorry. I first met Dave during part 1 of their romance before the interval. I didn't really know Dave that well then, but on the occasions when he called to our house to take Eve out, he used to bring me these lovely beers. And I don't know about Aoife, but he won me over then. And Dave, I really missed those beers. and you, of course, and Dave, when they paused their relationship. Dave is just a nice guy. Always the same way. He has a very happy, pleasant disposition. And he is very good to and for Aoife. And I know that Aoife truly loves him, and we love him too. We have been blessed with our other 2 son-in-laws. What's his name and your man? Sorry. Connell and Brandy. And with our son's partners, Ellen and Paige. And we are very happy to welcome Dave into the Carberry family. When Aoife was a little girl, she didn't want to grow up. She was Cinderella in her lovely, lovely dress. And we had this thing going when it came to her 10th birthday. I wrote 9 4/4 on her birthday card. And the following year, it was 9 8/4. And so on for a number of years until I started to have problems working out how many quarters it was. And we both had to give in to the inevitable. During one of Aoife's early fittings for her wedding dress, Trish told me that the lady in the boutique asked Aoife how she wanted to feel going up the aisle. And Aoife said she wanted to feel like she was floating. And in many ways, this kind of sums Aoife up throughout her life. She floated through childhood. She floated through each stage of her life, sprinkling her magic dust on those she met along the way. St Bride's Primary School, Rathmore, University, working in Belfast, Scotland, New Zealand and Newcastle, activities and travels too numerous to mention. Aoife, as you know, is very much a free spirit, and we love that about her because that's what makes Aoife Aoife. We are very proud of Aoife and love her dearly, as we do all of our children, Maeve and Claire, Connor and Owen. And if I've left any other children that I'm not aware of out, you can let me know. In the classic tale, It's a Wonderful Life, who hopefully most of you will know that movie, after saving George Bailey, the angel Clarence takes his leave with some parting advice and a word of thanks. Dear George, remember no man is a failure who has friends. Thanks for the wings, love, Clarence. Well, like George Bailey, Aoife has been blessed with good friends who have always been there for her as she has been there for them. And like George Bailey, Aoife has a gift of making people she meets feel like they could fly. And if you remember the movie,
Every time you hear a bell, an angel gets his wings.
every time you hear a bell, an angel gets his wings. Well, today, Aoife, you have got your wings, and you are floating in your lovely, lovely dress. You're all grown up, almost 9 and 92 quarters. Cinderella has found her Prince Charming, and you have arrived at the ball. Enjoy, and don't worry, you don't have to be home at midnight. If you raise your glasses, I wish you both health and happiness as you journey through life together.
Thank you, Jerry.
I'll be quick.
Yeah, no, that's one thing.
It's fine. Sorry. Is your mum going to say something? You want to say?
Oh, sorry.
Thank you very much, Jerry. So I'm the last to speak today. I'm Connor Fitz. I'm Dave's best man. And the reason that Dave loves Aoife and her lovely ginger hair is because he first loved me and my lovely ginger hair. Now, a lot of people came to me today and said, "Who's that guy standing across from Aoife?" I said, "That's Dave." "Oh, yeah, that's Dave." I said, "That's Dave." Like, I know he's in a suit and he's all dressed up, and that's Dave. And I'm like, okay. So, for people who are still not too sure that this is Dave, I've actually got a few props. We usually see Dave 99% of the time in a hoodie, so if Dave, you don't mind standing up. We're getting there. For anybody who's still unsure.
Power is it washed? You never washed it.
It's not washed. It's not washed. We've got a hat. A backwards hat. I actually made one special for Aoife. Now Dave always walks around with a bag as well. I don't know if you've ever noticed. He actually walked out the door earlier on and he had all his bags and Aoife's bag and his backpack. I was like, "Are you taking that to your wedding?" He was like, "Of course I am." You got a good thing in those backpacks. So I brought this as well. Now, I don't know if everybody knows here what is in Dave's magical bag. I'm not going to tell everything. So, Dave carries around a bog roll. Now this is special wedding bog roll for this special occasion, so I'm just going to set that on the table for you. It says your names on it.
Oh, thank you.
He also usually has a stray can of warm Carlsberg. Now this one has Aoife's face on it. Okay. That's a special one. Special one. There was a veil on it, but it's wedding's in the bag. Look over the veil on it. There's your bag. There you go. Thank you. Alright, so now you realise that it's not an imposter, it's actually Dave up here. I'm going to start talking about Dave. So, I've known Dave for about 30 years. Okay, we grew up together. We had the first job together. We were in Kaizo, we went to Scouts together, we went to school together, we went travelling together. And when Dave was younger, he wasn't always this handsome human being you see in front of you right now. When Dave was young.
He was always handsome.
It's not says he was always handsome, but he looked. When Dave was younger, he looked like a mixture of the Haribo Kid and Dale Winton. But it's alright because he's super handsome now, so it's okay, it doesn't matter. It's alright. And obviously Dave's very, very intelligent and he's worked through his life and now he's a teacher and stuff, but Dave could have been a NASA scientist. But the reason he's not a NASA scientist is because when we were younger we used to love, you remember Jackass, where they used to video people and do stunts and things like that. So one of the stunts that we did was called the helmet test. And one day we put a helmet on Dave, and for an hour straight we just threw stuff at him. So whatever we could find, Dave was happy. We just stood there, we just had a chair, there was an iron board, there was an iron. So I'm really sorry, Rosemary and Potches, that you could have had a scientist in your family, but a teacher's fine. So it's like, so Dave grew up in the same street as me. He was always part of the family. He was always part of the Fitzy family. So I have two older brothers, and we always saw him as a brother. So he was not immune to the whole brotherly love, the brotherly abuse, the brotherly taking the piss out of him type of thing. So this went on for years until he disappeared for a summer to the Gaeltacht for 2 months. And he went as the Haribo Kid, and then 2 months later he came back, 2 foot taller, with stubble. And his name was David before, and he came back and went, "You can call me Dave." "Okay, Dave, that's okay." And now he's my big brother. Yeah. So, it's been talked about today. Dave plays guitar, he's a talented musician, me and him used to play in bands together and stuff. And Dave's very proud of his music. And I was like, what's the best story to tell about Dave and how proud he is of his music? So, I used to live in Liverpool, and Amo and Dave came to visit me once, and there's a musician called Foy Vance, he's very famous from Ireland. And Dave came to the gig with me, and I was like, I couldn't wait for this gig, and the first song started, and we got about 1 minute into the song, and Dave pulled a strap. I was like, "What are you doing?" No. And he stormed out. And I'm not one to question Dave's truth-telling skills, like he tells the truth all the time. And the reason Dave had stormed out is because Foy Vance actually stole Dave's song. A minute in, Dave's like, that's my song, I need to get out of here. And I don't know. And on the way out, he stole one. No, you took one of the vinyls. He said it was for royalties or something. I don't know, that was what I said, yeah. So Dave and I went travelling in 2015, and we went through Asia, we went through Australia, there's hundreds of stories that I could tell. Unfortunately I can't tell because I come out worse than them, so I'm not going to tell them. But then we got to New Zealand, which has been talked about a lot today. When we got to New Zealand, we lived in a place called Queenstown, which is very cold, and me and Dave decided to share a room. And the room was like a cave, a dungeon. Like, we tried our best to not spend as much money as possible, so there was no heating. There was days where I'd wake up like unfrost my lips, shout across to Dave to see if he was alive.
Titanic.
A bit like Titanic, yeah. It was a dream. And he was alive, it was great, and it was all good. And Dave, we were talking about this earlier on, Dave had like 4 or 5 different jobs every day. He was running about crazy. And Dave looked like a caveman. He grew this massive beard, and he was just like wearing all sorts of clothes. But this all changed when Aoife came on the scene. Which is great. So, you would know the weekends that Aoife would come down. So Aoife lived in the North Island, which is Auckland, and she would come down to visit us from Queenstown. And you know the weekends that she would come visit, because Dave would be like lying in this bed, lying there, and the windows closed, the blinds closed, and all of a sudden the blinds would open, and the windows would open, and Dave would get up, and like, oh my God, you're in bed. And then he would disappear off into the shower room, and you'd hear the shower go like, Dave's having a shower. What's going on? And then 2 hours later, like a scene from Stars in Their Eyes, smoke everywhere. Dave would walk out and be like, today, Fitzy, I'm going to be a presentable human being. So everybody in the house was like, can Aoife just come down and just stay? Because you're smelly all the time. So I could go on all day telling stories with Dave, and I'm sure he could tell those about me, but I'll leave it at that. I just want to say fair play to Aoife. So Dave, love him to bits, but he's a bit silly sometimes. So Dave, I don't know if everybody knows, Dave has this big, massive tattoo.
Yes.
A space tattoo.
We know.
And it shows, I don't know, the world exploding or something. So, but that's not the silly part. The silly part is Dave has woke up on numerous occasions and forgot that he has this massive tattoo, and it gives him the shock. So he told me one day he woke up and he went, oh, there's a massive tattoo on my arm. Another thing that I'm really impressed with Dave is when we were flying home from New Zealand, Dave had hundreds of pounds worth of snowboard gear, and instead of bringing the snowboard gear home with him, he decided to put that aside and bring home his favourite blanket. So there was hundreds of pounds worth of snowboard gear, or there was a £10 blanket that he could have bought in Primark. He brought the blanket home with him.
And you brought home your
And you bought it from Primark?
He probably did, but I didn't Primark. Yeah, I did.
What did you bring home with?
I didn't bring anything home with me.
Your dressing gown.
You have the microphone right now. So, when I was down trying the suits and stuff, we were having drinks and stuff, and the last thing that I'm really impressed that Aoife with Dave was, so Dave woke up recently and he'd been out drinking maybe 2-3 days in a row, and he had the fear, and he woke up and he was like, oh my God, I have to get up, I have to write the voice, even though the voice were written. And they were all sorted, and I don't even know if I had the right voice today. Was that the story?
No, there was no voice.
There was no voice today, so Dave woke up, got up, really hungover, and wrote his own voice, even though there was no voice at the beginning today, so all I have to say is Dave's been a massive friend to me. He's been my best friend, he's been my wee brother, and then he became my big brother. He's been my first theatre the whole way through Asia and Australia. Dave looked after me. He's been my hot water bottle sometimes. No, but everybody knows today, everybody that's met Dave and talked to Dave, he's a lovely human being, and Aoife and Dave have been so close to me and so nice to me and my wife as well, and I'm just really happy to be this massive part of the wedding. So thank you very much for everybody listening to that and being here today, and can everybody, not to me, but for the amazing new Mr. and Mrs. Lavery, stand and cheers. Thank you! For a second. We're going to have a reset for a seat for a second. I've got a few announcements to make, sorry. handed me this, I just need to read it out, so if everybody have a seat, I'll read through it very quickly. So the end of meal announcements. So if you'd like to leave your car overnight, please feel free to do so. This is the owner's responsibility and must be picked up at 10 a.m. I don't know if anybody is that case. If you require a taxi, please see the bar staff prior to 10 p.m. so they can arrange this for you. For those with children, please do ensure that they are supervised, as there are lots of hazards around the venue, including fire pits in the courtyard. At the end of the meal, there will be coffee and tea buffet available for you to help yourselves to. This will be set up next door, but do ask a member of the team if you require decaffeinated coffee or non-dairy milk. The Healy Bar team would soon be clearing away a couple of tables near the bar, ready for the evening reception. So if you're sat near the bar, we would kindly ask you to move next door. Throughout the evening, please be courteous of our neighbours and the livestock that are in the fields surrounding the barn. Thank you for your patience and do enjoy the rest of your evening.
Well,